Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Tyler Rugge, and for today's video I'm going to be unboxing a betta fish that I ordered online. I imported it from Indonesia, and I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that process as well. I literally just brought in my package from outside like 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to be unboxing it for you guys on camera. But before we get started with today's video, I wanted to let you guys know that it is actually sponsored by Amino Apps. Amino Apps is this really cool app where there's a whole bunch of different groups where you can communicate with people all over the world. And there's different aminos for different hobbies or things that you're interested in. For example, I'm a part of the reptiles amino, the fish keeping amino, and I just recently joined the birds amino. As you can see, I'm part of those 3 aminos. Then if you scroll through, there are actually a whole bunch of other aminos that you can join. If you love animals, then Amino is the app for you because there are thousands of people in different communities that share the same interests with you, and you can interact with them in a ton of different cool ways. Like there are quizzes, public chat rooms, and people post pictures and blog posts that you can like and comment on. There's actually a growing community on Amino that is dedicated to betta fish, because maybe some of you would be interested in joining the betta community on Amino and talking all about betta fish care and just sharing your different betta fish setups and stuff like that. It's a really cool place to get ideas from other people too for aquascaping. Go follow me on the reptiles amino, fish keeping amino, and the birds amino. My username is just Tyler Rugge, and I will link that down below so you guys can get the app. And actually just yesterday I posted a few pictures of me and Mango on the birds amino. So go check that out and like my post. Now, let's get into the unboxing of my betta fish that I spent over $100 importing here into America. So let's do this, shall we? I hope you're alive because I spent a lot of money on you. All right, it's the big reveal moment. Let's see what we have here. All right, so it looks like there's like a heat pack, which is really nice, and then it's filled with newspaper shreds. And I'm gonna get all over my floor, but it's fine. And he is alive. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Okay, so the water is a little bit brown, so you can't really see how beautiful he really is at all. I will insert a picture here of what he looks like, because yeah, this does not do him any justice at all. So this is a galaxy koi half-moon betta fish. And you might be asking yourself, why did I import a betta fish and spend over $100 just to bring him here from Indonesia? And the answer to that is standards and quality of betta fish here in America, especially if you go to like PetSmart or Petco, is just very low. I know like some of the betta fish are pretty cool, but over in Asia, they breed betta fish that are very, very beautiful and vibrant colors, and they're just absolutely amazing. So I thought it was worth it. I didn't want to spend $15 on some regular old betta fish from the pet store. So I thought it'd be really neat to try and import one from Indonesia. So basically the way this works is I went on this website called Aquabid, and you bid on it. And if you win the bid, then the betta fish breeder will send the betta fish to a transshipper, and you have to pay for that shipping. And then you also have to pay for the shipping for the transshipper to ship it to you. So it starts with one person and it goes to a second person before it actually gets to me. So unfortunately, sometimes what will happen is when the breeder sends it to the transshipper, sometimes the transshipper will receive it and it will be dead. And this is actually what happened to me before. I ordered another betta fish before I ordered this one, and it died when it got to the transshipper. And unfortunately, I don't get refunded for the shipping costs that I paid. I just get another replacement betta fish for free that will be sent to the transshipper, which I have to pay for the shipping again. And then I have to pay for the shipping from the transshipper to me. So, like I said, the first one died when it got to the transshipper. So I was really scared that this one would die as well, either when it got to the transshipper or when it finally got to me. Luckily, he is alive, and I'm gonna put him in his tank so he can start acclimating right now. and then I'll show you guys him in his tank. All right, so he's over in his tank acclimating right now, and once I let him free into his tank, I'll show you guys a closer look of what he actually looks like in real time. But before we get to that, I wanted to mention that I did plan on putting him in my fluval spec, which is 5 gallons, and I made this really cool aquascape and everything. And this was like a couple months ago that I did this. I posted a picture to the fish keeping amino where I actually showed the planted tank that I made for my betta fish, and everyone was really kind on there, and they told me that they thought my tank looked really beautiful and was super cool, but they think that 5 gallons is not big enough for a betta fish. A few people commented on that, telling me that 5 gallons isn't adequate for a betta fish. Like, they can survive in a 5-gallon tank, but it's better to put them in a 10-gallon tank. And I thought this was kind of surprising to me because I've always heard that 2.5 gallons is the minimum for betta fish. So I was like, all right, 2.5 gallons is the minimum. So I'm gonna put him in a 5-gallon tank and he'll be good because it's twice the size of the minimum recommended. I'm giving him more space. But on the fish keeping amino, I was actually informed that the standard for betta fish in Germany is actually 10 gallons. And I guess a lot of people like to go with animal care standards in Germany because in America, the standards are a lot lower and a bit outdated. So here in America, our standards for betta fish are lower, which you could probably tell considering people keep them in vases and fish bowls usually, which is completely wrong. And this is an example of how I actually use amino and I learn from it. So right now I'm putting my betta fish in the 5-gallon fluval spec because that tank has been cycled forever. I've had it running for almost a year now. He's gonna go in that temporarily until my 10-gallon tank is cycled because I do have a 10-gallon tank that I just set up after I heard my 5-gallon wasn't adequate, but my 10-gallon still needs to cycle completely. So I just wanted to let you guys know that the betta fish is going in the 5-gallon fluval spec temporarily, and then I'm gonna move it to the 10-gallon once that's cycled. Before I had a betta fish in my fluval spec and it jumped out of the lid because the lid has a small opening in the middle. So I am going to cover the lid in a mesh screen so that the betta fish can't jump out this time. I'm gonna go let my betta fish free in his tank and then I will film it and we'll take a closer look at him. So let's go, shall we? Alright guys, so that is it for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed meeting my betta fish that I spent over $100 on. Leave me suggestions down below on what you think I should name him, because he's really cool, and I think he needs to get a name. So let me know what you think down below. Also, once again, don't forget to check out Amino Apps. The link to that will be down in the description as well. And check out my social media, check out my vlog channel. They'll all be linked down in the description below. And I'll see you guys in my next video.